President-elect Donald Trump's cabinet is already the richest in modern history, with at least 4 billionaires, including Trump, and several multi-millionaires. They include private equity investor Wilbur Ross as Commerce Secretary, philanthropist and Republican Party fundraiser Betsy DeVos as Education Secretary, and Linda McMahon, who co-founded World Wrestling Entertainment, Inc. as Small Business Administrator. Just those four alone have a combined net worth of at least $12 billion. That's more than the annual gross domestic product of about 50 small countries. Trump's cabinet also includes a host of climate change skeptics and deniers, including Trump's pick to lead the EPA, Oklahoma Attorney General Scott Pruitt, who wants to scrap the Clean Power Plan, Rick Perry as head of the agency he once vowed to scrap, the Department of Energy, and Rex Tillerson, the CEO of ExxonMobil, who is Trump's pick as Secretary of State. You may also have noticed some common traits overall among Trump's nominees. Most are white, extremely wealthy men, with just 4 women announced so far, and a limited selection of minorities. And while the cabinet does contain a healthy number of outsiders, many are picks from Wall Street, such as Stephen Bannon as Chief Strategist and Steven Mnuchin as Treasury Secretary, Andrew Puzder from corporate America, who is tipped to be Labor Secretary, and ex-military men like John Kelly as head of Homeland Security and James Mattis as Secretary of Defense, as well as a handful of establishment Republicans. Not exactly draining the swamp, as Trump promised to do during his campaign. In fact, responding to the apparent contradictions in Trump's cabinet picks so far, Democratic Senator Sherrod Brown recently quipped, "This isn't draining the swamp, it's stocking it with alligators." Whoops.
Senator, we're starting to see the cabinet come together, and you've got Betsy DeVos, who's worth about $5 billion, Wilbur Ross, who's worth about $3 billion, Todd Ricketts, who's worth $1 billion, Steve Mnuchin, Treasury Secretary, who's worth at least $40 million, although I think that vastly undersells.
Only $40 million?
I know. He's a piker.
And he got into the cabinet?
I know. Well,
I'm really quite shocked at poor people being able to get into the cabinet.
It is pretty remarkable. I mean, this is pretty unprecedented, this sort of plutocratic titans being named to these positions, some of whom have zero experience. Chris,
what's more, I mean, we're in Trump world right now, and what we have to understand is we're into show business. And that means that what you said during the campaign, you said that we are going to not cut Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid, and then you appoint Congressman Price,
Tom Price,
the head of HHS, who has made his life's work cutting Medicare. You talk about how you're going to be tough on Wall Street, and then you appoint a Wall Street insider to be Secretary of the Treasury. You talk about being tough on the establishment. Oh, we're going to take on the whole establishment, and you appoint the entire establishment to your cabinet. The hypocrisy would be really funny if it wasn't so sad in terms of the implications of what it means for working people in this country.
That is why I will get rid of and totally destroy the Johnson Amendment and allow our representatives of faith to speak freely and without fear of retribution. I will do that, remember.